Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Ryan here, and today I'm going to talk to you about fear. And you might be wondering why I want to talk about fear. Well, because no one wants to admit they're afraid, right? It's like one of the worst things, not the worst things, it's kind of embarrassing, right? When you're scared, right? Like sort of an example of some fear here, right? Right now I'm holding this massive camera, and it's or this sort of Casey Neistat vlog setup. It's actually the same one that he has, if you're familiar with his YouTube channel. Anyways, and I look kind of ridiculous, right? I'm holding this thing, I'm in my neighborhood, and I'm recording a vlog, and it's kind of scary because I look ridiculous. I mean, I think that's the number one fear, especially amongst women. Like if you actually amongst anybody, right? But if you're married or you have a significant other, I mean, like that's probably one of the biggest things that causes women to get really mad at you, or not women, but just like your spouse, right? Because as men, for example, like as a man, let me just kind of reel back here a little bit. I gotta run across the street here. Don't want to get an accident. Okay, so, you know, the last thing you want to do is get embarrassed, right? Who wants to get embarrassed? Well, when you're, for women, not women, just gender, right? We have different norms for what is appropriate or what is, you know, like women tend to like want to kind of fix themselves up, right? There's a certain, we're different. Where am I going with this? My point is the things that, like for example, it's not, as a man, right? You don't want to be embarrassed, right? No one wants to be embarrassed, but you don't want to come off as a girl, especially when you're like 35, right? So if you're like in the 30s or 40s or even 50s, you kind of grew up in a certain way, right? If you're like 25 or 20, you grew up in a different way than me, because God, I don't even know where I'm going with this. My point is fear. Let me just get back to this fear thing. Like I'm recording this video. Like for example, I'm not gonna really edit this video a whole lot, and it's gonna come out the way it's gonna come out. And like the truth about fear is that most people around you, especially when it comes to embarrassment, don't care. They don't care. If you remember being in high school or middle school, you know, you want to look good, you want to dress nice, you know, and you get a stain on your shirt, or you get some water on your shirt, or your hair doesn't look good, or you have a zit, right? I can tell you right now that people really, I mean, they might make fun of you, you know, but it's unlikely. I mean, they might, and it will hurt, but the problem is not that big of a deal. And that's the thing of going through suffering, right? Like as I make this video and I'm talking and I'm recording, if I do this more often, I'm gonna get over this fear. Now with you, or with what I'm talking about when it comes to being embarrassed, is essentially just knowing that most people are too much into what they're already doing. Hey, how you doing? They're too much already into what they're already doing, right? They got too much on their mind. I mean, the truth is we're all self-absorbed, right? We want to care. Most of us tend to be very aware of kind of our surroundings, and some of us, you know, care different about things. God, I don't know, this is gonna be a fucking weird ass vlog, dude. Well, we're caught up in our own heads most of the time, and so like, you know, you're thinking of something, you're doing something, someone is thinking of something, and you think that people can see all your flaws, they can see all your mistakes, they can see all your discomforts, right? And the truth is they really don't, and if they do, they don't care, because they're too focused on themselves. And I'm talking about this because I have an event that I'm going to, and it's a kind of a high level kind of mastermind event, and I've always kind of recognized myself as sort of having this social fear or social awkwardness about things. And I'll tell you right now that it's easy to forget that other people feel similar in different ways. They might not feel embarrassed or insecure about the things that you do, but they do feel insecure about something. You know, like, you know, I mean, I'm just thinking of examples in high school, right? Someone who's short, right? And afraid of how short they are, or how much they weigh, or how they look, or, you know, I don't even know. Maybe like if you're like higher up and you're like rich and famous, and what's happening on the news, and you know, I'm thinking of these things because I want to get over this fear. I want to be able to, because I know that the fear is really what holds me back from wanting to do more, right? To wanting to just get more from life. Basically, I think fear is really what's preventing me from having more fun, and I want to have more fun. And I appreciate you watching this video so far, you know, 5 minutes in. So how do you get over fear? Okay, so let's do something practical now. Let's talk about something that can actually help you versus me rambling so much. Is like, for example, like right now, I'm holding this tripod, this Joby pod, and I am holding this humongous camera in front of me, and I'm walking in my neighborhood, right? I want to do this more often because, first of all, I have a goal of doing vlogs. I like doing these things. I like video. It's something that I want to do for my whole life because I find it fun. And I have to get over this fear of carrying a camera around and then recording and setting up shots. And one simple way for me to do that is sort of to just walk and talk to you. So I kill two birds with one stone. I get to kind of express my message, but then I also get to get over this fear in sort of a light way. So when I say practical applications of how to help your fear, is I would really just tell you, like, if you're trying to get over your fear, or a fear, is that you have to find sort of a few steps behind so that you can get over it. Now, one of the most common things in school, I just think about, is like going and talking to a girl and asking for their number or whatever, or you know, you want to date somebody, or you know, dating of some kind, right? And sometimes, you know, going and asking for their number or whatever is uncomfortable, it's scary. So what's the next best thing? You know, I mean, one of the biggest problems with this kind of fear, this specific thing I'm talking about, like going and talking to girls, I'm bringing it up because when I think about it, I'm married, I have kids, it's not really a problem for me, but it's that weird feeling of expectation. You know, that's kind of what I have. But also, for other people, maybe for you, is insecurity, right? And that's kind of the people sense insecurity, right? And that's not easy to hide. You will sense it, you know. And maybe even in this video, as I talk to you right now, you might be able to tell that there is some sort of insecurity. I'm not saying I'm holding back, but I'm trying to communicate something, but I feel a little awkward about it. Where am I going with this? You got to find a way to sort of take a step back and sort of push your fear in a certain way. So I exercise, because exercise, you know, I work out. You know, I'm a workout person. This was a workout channel, I guess. But when you're training and exercising, you don't deadlift 500 pounds from the start, right? You warm up, right? When you are getting started, you might not even deadlift at all. You know, you might not squat ass to grass. All you might just start by doing is you'll just start by doing half squats or box squats, or you know, or something like that, right? You take sort of smaller steps that ultimately, but you see, baby steps, right? But the whole point of the baby step is with the intention of taking the bigger step. And I think that's probably the best thing I've come up with in this 8 minutes of this video, is that taking small steps is good, but you have to take small steps with the intention of taking a bigger step. So the purpose of, like, for example, me recording myself walking in my neighborhood, feeling a little bit embarrassed about it, that is sort of a smaller step. The bigger step is really to, you know, shoot more video, do more vlogs, put myself more out there, and basically not give a shit about what other people think. You know, because that's the hardest thing. You know, you think, you know, one of my favorite books, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It's so easy to say, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a shit. And sometimes, you know, maybe if you remember that one video that got a decent amount of views, decent meaning over 100, about, I forgot what it was. Oh, it was about dislikes, right? And I cursed a lot, and people commented a ton, which was sort of weird. Where was I going with that? So I bring that up because I bring that video up because it's sort of a polarizing way to display myself, but it's not the way that I want to present myself. It's just something that look at, there's a witch on a bike. That's another reason why I like doing these vlogs. You get the video going, and it's kind of fun, you know. You got this just random stuff that just happens. Anyways, where was I going? Okay, so actually I gotta turn around and walk. Okay, so 10 minutes. Where was I going before I got distracted? Like squirrel. It's kind of like that's ADHD, I guess, or that feeling of ADHD, self-diagnosed, not severe or anything. Where am I going with this? I would have to say that I don't even know. I have to go look back at this video to see what the hell I talked about. This is, again, why am I doing this? It's vulnerability, it's embarrassing, it's practice. I'm doing the reps of sort of and you know what's so funny? You're watching this video, it's probably not even embarrassing anyway to you. You're like, whatever, right? It's Ryan making a video, right? Not a big deal, you know? But to me, I feel like awkward as hell, right? Alright, now I remember what I was going to talk about. So, in that video, dislikes, when I got a bunch of comments, I'm presenting myself in sort of a very polarizing way, in a sort of angry way, in a visceral way that gets on people's nerves. I watched the video again myself and I felt like, oh my god, I was terrible. It's not so much I was terrible. What made the video so amazing in itself was that it was very genuine. I mean, not to say that's the type of person I am all the time, but that was a very genuine moment. In that moment, I was really feeling what I was feeling. I wasn't acting. You know, I was irritated about something, right? And when I say not to give a fuck or not to care what other people think, it's almost like I have to push myself all the way to one edge, right? All the way in a different way. And when you do that, what sort of happens is you get that, right? You get sort of that, you know, it's kind of like when you kind of, you know, when you like snap at people. Like, I don't know if you ever had this feeling where you're like cleaning your house or doing some sort of thing that's sort of annoying or it's getting on your nerves, and then someone talks to you and you sort of like snap at them, and you don't mean to snap at them. It's just because you're in this sort of mood, you know? And I bring this up because it's sort of like you have to put yourself in this state that's like kind of unhealthy, right? It's sort of like you have to, I guess, be a douchebag. I think that's the reason why people are douchebags or assholes, is because they don't know how to manage that middle feeling. They can't be, you know, you see those awkward moments, and when you get in these awkward moments, you feel awkward, you feel weird, and you don't know how to respond. That's why sometimes when I watch comedy, if you ever watch what's that called, Curb Your Enthusiasm, like I can't even stand watching that movie. I feel so embarrassed. Anyways, so you get this visceral feeling of discomfort, right? And in order for me to sort of like not care and get past that, I have to push myself too far out from, basically I have to adjust myself in a way where my message becomes inaccurate and my mood, I don't know where I'm going. I mean, I guess what I'm really trying to say is that what happens is I'm trying to find a way to manage my emotions. I'm trying to manage how I feel as I deliver the message I want to deliver. You know, I'm kind of talking about fear, but as you can tell, I've talked about like a bazillion different things, but they're all related to fear. And probably one of the biggest reasons what makes this video, actually in my opinion, pretty good, is number one, it's very genuine, right? I'm just all over the place. Like, there was really, I said I was going to talk about fear, but there really wasn't a whole lot of planning, right? The other thing too is I'm clearly, I don't know if you can tell. See, like, you don't even know. Like, see, I'm telling you I feel uncomfortable, but I don't know. Well, you can't tell that I feel uncomfortable because I'm wearing glasses, I guess. You can just go off my word. But I'm telling you that I am uncomfortable. You know, I'm walking. There's probably been a few cars that have passed by. One person has walked by me, and I'm just have this apprehension. And it's almost like I have no control over that feeling. It's something that I already feel. I'm holding this camera and I'm like, what is this person thinking? And you know what's so funny about all these thoughts I'm just sharing with you is that it's not even that cut and dry. It's not even that clear. It's not like, oh, I'm embarrassed, must do this. It's really more like, It's like, you know, when you put your, if you like, for example, if I try to touch my eye like this, my eye closes. It's like a reaction, right? It's a reactive state. And going on the whole idea of reactive state, that's why I'm making a video. That's why I'm walking. It's because I'm putting myself in a proactive state. I'm making a video. I'm creating something. I'm putting myself in a position where something is not feeding me. I'm feeding somebody else. I'm feeding information into a video, and hopefully you're getting value from this video. So if you like this video, please leave a comment, because they do help to make the kind of content that I want to make. But more importantly, you know, I don't know if you're in the far, about 15 minutes in the video almost. I think my biggest message, it is my message, it's like, you know, to be an example to my children, right? To be an example to my family, to take care of my family, you know, to be able to, you know, as cliche as it sounds, to accomplish your dreams and live a bigger life and a better life. And I'm saying that in a kind of in a held back manner, because I'm not all rainbows and sunshine, you know. I really like to think, I think dark, you know. I feel like I'm sort of a dark thinking kind of person, and in a good way. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I try to be practical about things, but at the same time you have to stretch yourself. And you know, my message is, you know, I want to have my kids, you know, my family, you know, obviously look to me as a leader, but also to know that I'm trying to I want to be an example to my children, right? And I want them to know, like, at the end of the day, I care about them, and I want the best for them. I want to influence them, and one of the best ways I can do that is to grow myself, to make myself a better person, to grow as an individual and continue to make myself better, and then translate that into my family. And it starts from there, because so if I grow, they become better. At the process, as I make myself better, and then I'm sharing my message with you, you know, like I want you to get better, right? You know, but not just have you get better, but I'm also connecting with you, right? I'm connecting with you. It's like, hey, you know what? This is I'm connecting with you, right? So I hope I am. I think I am. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I think I'm done recording for now. I'll see you guys all on the next video. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. See you later.